The 48 Laws of Power is one of the most discussed and controversial topics in human history. From the royal courts of the Middle Ages to the modern business world, a person's ability to understand and apply the rules of power can determine their success or failure. Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power, is a strategic guide that draws lessons from history, great leaders, generals, and politicians to highlight the laws that govern the game of power. However, this is not a book for the weak. It doesn't just tell you to be good, moral, or fair. It shows you how to protect yourself, gain influence, and avoid the traps that can lead to your downfall. In today's video, we will analyze 5 of the most important laws from the book. These laws can be applied to relationships, careers, and everyday life. And remember, understanding power doesn't necessarily mean you will use it. But if you don't understand it, you might easily become a victim of it. Let's begin. Law 1. Never outshine the master. No matter how much you want to impress your boss, never do it to the extent that you appear superior to them. Leaders have egos and often feel insecure when a subordinate outshines them. A historical example is Niccolo Machiavelli, who advised rulers to always maintain control and never allow anyone to overshadow them. If someone under them appeared too competent, they were often exiled or even executed. To apply this law, you must make your boss feel secure and show that your power is a reflection of theirs, not something that threatens them. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Friends can be unpredictable when power is involved. We often assume they will support us, but when an opportunity arises for them, their stance may change. On the other hand, you always know where your enemies stand, and you can use them to your advantage. An example is Napoleon Bonaparte. Many times, instead of eliminating his enemies, he gave them positions of power, turning them into loyal allies. These people, knowing they had been given a second chance, served him better than his own friends. The strategy here is to never take anyone for granted. Sometimes, your toughest enemy can turn out to be your most valuable ally. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. If people know exactly what you want to do, they can stop you or manipulate you. One of the fundamental elements of power is secrecy, keeping others in uncertainty. Louis XIV of France was known for his ability to speak in a way that left his advisors guessing his true intentions. This allowed him to control his environment without ever becoming predictable. If you want to gain influence, don't reveal your cards from the start. Let others make assumptions and play your game while you remain in control. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. Powerful people know that the less they say, the more they control situations. Words are a tool of power, but they can also become a trap. Henry Kissinger, the famous diplomat, used this tactic in his negotiations. He spoke little and let others fill the silence with revelations they never intended to make. The lesson: speak less, listen more. This way, others will try to guess your intentions while you maintain the advantage. Law 5. Guard your reputation at all costs. In a world where attention is the most valuable asset, invisibility means weakness. Powerful people know how to attract attention and stay in the spotlight. Pablo Picasso, for example, was not just a great painter. He knew how to create controversy, provoke discussions, and keep his audience engaged. Talent wasn't enough. He had to make people talk about him. Today, this law applies to social media, politics, and business. If you are not seen, you don't exist. Find a way to stand out, even if it means shocking or provoking reactions. Law 6. Make others depend on you. True powers is not just about having control, but creating a situation where others cannot function without you. If people depend on you for their survival, progress, or stability, they cannot betray you, even if they want to. A great example is Otto von Bismarck, who unified Germany by creating a complex system of dependencies among European powers. He knew that if other countries needed Germany for balance, they wouldn't easily turn against it. So don't let others become too independent. Build relationships where your absence would cause disruption, ensuring that you always hold the upper hand. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. History is full of leaders who didn't do the work themselves, but took all the credit. True power doesn't mean exhausting yourself by doing everything alone. It means using the abilities of others to your advantage. Thomas Edison was known for this tactic. Although his inventions changed the world, many of them were the result of his assistants' work. He knew how to present himself as a visionary, ensuring that his name would go down in history. To apply this law, find talented people and give them a purpose. Once the work is done, make sure you are the one who gains the most recognition. Law 8. Make people come to you. Do not go to them. When you are constantly chasing others, you show weakness. Powerful people create an environment where others feel obligated to seek them out, rather than the other way around. A classic example is Emperor Napoleon. In his negotiations, he rarely made the first move. The leaders of other nations knew that if they wanted an alliance or to avoid war, they had to come to him. This gave him the psychological upper hand before the discussions even started. Instead of running after opportunities, create value that makes others come to you. When you are the center of power, you can negotiate from a position of strength. Law 9. Win through actions, not through argument. Words can impress, but actions convince. Powerful people don't waste time on useless discussions. They prove their value through their actions. George Washington, the first president of the United States, was a man of few words. He avoided empty talk and unnecessary debates. Instead, every move he made was carefully planned to send a clear message. His silence and determination made others respect and follow him. To apply this law, don't try to prove your worth only with words. Take action that demonstrates your power and let the results speak for themselves. Law 10. Do not show too much compassion. Use others to your advantage. Power does not always go hand in hand with compassion. People often take advantage of those who show excessive kindness, seeing them as weak. To protect your position, you must know when to be tough and when to display superficial generosity. Julius Caesar was known for his ability to forgive his enemies, but always in a way that made them dependent on him. He never gave them full freedom, but kept them in a position where they needed his favor. This way, he neutralized them without having to destroy them completely. If you always show kindness without strategy, others will see you as an easy target. Instead, learn to use generosity as a tool of power, giving it only when it benefits you. Law 11. Keep others in suspense. Maintain the element of unpredictability. People tend to feel uncomfortable when they cannot predict your moves. Uncertainty creates fear and respect, while forcing others to constantly think about your next actions. Powerful individuals exploit this uncertainty to maintain control over those around them. A great example is Winston Churchill. During his negotiations, he never fully revealed his intentions. His opponents could never tell whether he would choose confrontation or cooperation, which gave him the upper hand in his strategic decisions. To apply this law, never become predictable. Change your routine, make unexpected moves, and maintain a sense of mystery about your true intentions. This way, others will always be on the defensive. Law 12. Never commit to anyone completely. Maintain your independence. Powerful people never allow themselves to depend entirely on a single ally or group. If you commit yourself completely to someone, you become vulnerable and lose the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Joseph Stalin was a master at shifting alliances based on his interests. He never showed full loyalty to one side, but maintained a flexible stance that allowed him to take advantage of every situation for his own benefit. This way, he always had options and never fell into the trap of absolute commitment. If you want to stay in control, don't let emotions drag you into unbreakable commitments. Maintain your independence so you can change strategy whenever necessary. Final thoughts. These were some of the laws of power from the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. As we have seen, power is not random. It is a game of strategy, psychology, and control. By understanding these laws, you can not only protect yourself from the traps of power, but also gain influence over the world around you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. We have more laws to cover, so stay tuned. See you in the next video.